Jamie from Inky&Scrappy. Welcome to the Lawn Fawn Fab 5 blog hop. This is my project for it. It is going to be a build a cabin gift box. And then of course I had to make a card to go with my gift box. So I'm going to bring in that Lawn Fawn build a tree die as well. So as I'm getting started here, I'm just removing all of my die cut pieces. So my roof, my door, and my windows are all in it's like a brown metallic cardstock. I don't even know where it came from. It's just in my stash. It was probably one of those big old packs from like Joann's that has cool looking cardstock, but it's just the scraps. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where it came from. I'm building the background for my door and my windows. Because I want to make this a box, I need to fill in that background piece there with a solid piece. So I'm just measuring it out, and no, I very seldom use a ruler. I usually sketch, eyeball, and call it good from there. Yeah, you see, I didn't even look at what the thing was on my cutter for my original piece. Yeah. That's how I roll around here. So as I build this or put this together, I'm going to add the backs onto the back of my cabin here. And then before I get too far, I realize I'm going to want to add some distress ink to the sides. So I'm pulling in some of that. I want to say it was espresso. If you caught it, you have faster eyes than I do. For some shading on there. So as I shade in all of the pieces for this one, I will tell you a little bit about the Lawn Fawn Fab 5. So the Lawn Fawn Fab 5 is a group of us YouTubers that got together and our love of Lawn Fawn. And we love the new stuff, but we also love the old stuff. So we have decided to do some projects that include both the old and the new Lawn Fawn release. And of course, Lawn Fawn was so generous to sponsor us, and you get one of you will get a $25 gift card to the Lawn Fawn shop. So for each of us participating in this hop will be sharing creative ideas using old and new Lawn Fawn products, and we hope that you will find inspiration with each video as you hop along with us. To enter the giveaway, please leave a comment at each stop in our hop by Friday, February 4th, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not sure what to comment? A simple hi will suffice, and one comment at each video will count as one entry to win a $25 gift certificate from Lawn Fawn. Make sure you hit all 5 of them because that's 5 chances to win that $25 gift card. Winners will be announced February 8th, 2023, and you will have 1 week to claim your prize. Of course, there's always a disclaimer when it comes to giveaways. This giveaway is sponsored by Lawn Fawn and is not sponsored by YouTube. To check out the lineup, it will be listed below, but if you got here from Steph's World of Papercraft, you are on your way. If you are starting here, make sure to go back and hit Steph's, and then Jessica Squirrels is after me, and then Jordy's Cards and Kate's Craft. If you get lost anywhere along the way, you can always stop back here and grab those quick links and go back on your merry little way. So back to my project. I'm folding up this piece, and I left this part in just to show you that, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking here, but I started off all right. It was the rest of this one that just didn't go as planned. So I ended up abandoning ship on this piece because, yes, you see how I did? I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, so I started over, and I kind of hemmed and hawed here. So I realized that I just needed it to be the side of it and not, I don't know. I don't know what I did with that first one that I messed it up. So it's about 1.5 inches upwards, and then it ended up being, so I ended up scoring it at 4 1/8. So 1.5 inches, 4 1/8, and then another 1.5 inches. So it ended up being at about 5 5/8 is what I ended up as my length on this one. And then for the width on this one, I ended up doing a square box. So I ended up cutting it at 3 3/4. Now you could have cut that at a longer, made it longer. So I guess it's really the length of it, not really the width. Whatever. It's geometry, and my brain's not doing geometry today. I usually wing these things, so yeah, you get what you get. So I wanted it more square, so that's kind of what I was doing. And here I'm just measuring it out and, you know, making it into a box. Now, my original one, I had cut like triangles out of the folds, which I realized wasn't really going to work because I wanted it to not be, I wanted it to overlap so it had that little bit. So here I'm just going to cut the slits in on those fold lines on the little short sides here. And I'll do the same on the other side, making sure to fold them with that bone folder to make sure that they're good and scored. And then I kind of, that was how I decided on my length. I could have made it a longer log cabin, and I decided to kind of go with a square log cabin. So I'm going in with that first little tick mark there. It was kind of where I wanted the length to be, or the width. I don't know, width, length. I don't know. It depends how you look at it. It's square, so it really doesn't matter because length and width are probably about the same. I just did a little, very small little slit on each of these, so I didn't have to worry about them butting up against each other and not making a square or a 90-degree angle on my square. I'm just trying to square up my house. I did add my score tape on this one before I went back in with that blending brush to add my color onto this one. Since I ended up having to redo this part of the project, I, knew it wasn't going to have the time to dry that my other pieces were going to, so I did the score tape before I did it. And this way I can just snip those apart here quick, no big deal, and then pull that off and start by putting them together. I did add liquid adhesive there to make sure that it holds on tightly. I have double-sided adhesive trust issues. It's all good. But also when you're doing a box style or a gift box style thing, to make sure that it's actually going to hold, it's good to have that double layer of adhesive. The liquid is going to give a stronger bond than the double-sided adhesive, at least in Minnesota, where it's, I think it's just because it's dry, so dry in the winter, and then it gets hot and humid in the summer. The change in temperature and humidity messes with that double-sided adhesive. So I lined up my boxes there, or my houses, I guess, there to complete my gift box, or at least my cabin that's 3D. I did try to, I thought about going in and covering up. It's actually a white metallic paper that I used for my window backing. And so I thought about covering it up, and I decided I needed a critter. But instead of covering it up, I have this brown grass that had come in a package, and I figured that would work perfectly with my log cabin box thing. And so that is how I finished up the inside of that one. And then I was kind of playing with what to add. So yes, I do have a whole sheet of bears already colored in. It's a card in the future. You just haven't seen it yet. Neither have I, because I haven't decided what I'm doing with them. I did decide that my little gift box needed a gift card to go with it. And what better to go with a cabin than a tree? So I am bringing in Lawn Fawn's Build a Tree die set and making a tree card out of it. I did this back this fall sometime. I think it was fall. I did a fairy house card with that Build a Tree die set, and so I created a couple of card bases that were tree shaped. So if you're curious as how I did those, go back and watch that video, but it's basically just tracing and cutting, and you know, you'll get your little shaped card base. I do like doing shaped cards. You know, they're kind of fun to do once in a blue moon. Something different than the ordinary. And then I'm bringing in the heart die from Lawn Fawn's Swish and Pop Interactive die. The paper is from the Fall Fling 6x6 paper pack. And then, of course, I needed to add in some little critters because, you know, can't live in the forest without some bears coming to visit you. So I'm taking that little baby bear from the Berry Happy Holiday set and the little Love You also from that Very Happy Holiday set, and adding the Love You onto the little sign. And then I also brought in the little baby bear from Snow Much Fun. So I will get my signs put together here. I did matching signs for on the house and on the tree because, you know, they needed to matchy match. And then I put the little, I did do my signs on opposite sides, you know, switched it up a little bit. I am coming in with some warm gray markers. I'm using Oohoo fine nib markers for my coloring today. You could use Copics as well. The WGs are, you know, just their warm gray. So I started with a warm gray. I want to say I started with 8 and then I did 5 and, or maybe it was 6, 5. And then I think I did like 2 or 4. It must have been 2, probably 2. So I'm going to add my little baby bear inside my tree house there. And then I'm going to come in with the Jelly Roll pen in black to add a shiny gloss to the eyes and the nose. It just kind of makes them pop. And then I'm going to bring in my white gel pen here. I think this one is the 08, so it's not quite as wide as the 10 one is, and add a little bit of added detail. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my other little baby bear here, putting that little heart in his hand like he is dropping it off or giving it to somebody inside the house. Yes, I thought about putting a little bear inside the door too, but I opted against it. And then to make a handle for my container here, I am using some of that hand-dyed red seam binding twine that I did for one of my last cards and had some extras, so you see it again. And it just went perfectly with the red heart and Valentine theme for this one. So I just folded it over a couple of times and then I'm just adding it with a tiny attacher. And then I was thinking about doing some more glitter, and then I decided there was probably enough glitter with the red, and so I brought in my I want to say distress sickles, but it's not. It's glossy accents, and adding that on top of the light bulb. And then of course I can't stop there. I also had a glossy accent over those hearts. It makes them look like an epoxy sticker, or I think that's what they used to be called, right? I don't know. It adds a glorious shine to them. And of course, I needed to add a little heart to baby bears. The little baby bear that's inside the house too, because he looked like he wanted to hold a heart too. And then I will actually come in and add, I forgot the glossy for the eyes and nose on this little bear. And then I will come back in and add a few little white highlights to him as well. And of course, not letting the back of my cabin touch surface because it still has wet glossy accents on that light bulb. There is my little, so it'll end up making a little scene. So the tree stands up next to the log cabin. And so you have the cute little gift box and, of course, the little tree card for the recipient. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you continue along with the Lawn Fawn Fab 5 YouTube hop, and make sure to comment below for your chance to win if you are already subscribed, thank you so much. If you have yet to subscribe, make sure to do so, and I will catch you on my next video. And thank you so much for joining me today. Keep getting inky.